Hello, everybody, and welcome to Aftersight, the audio information network of Colorado's newest podcast. I am your host, Penn Street, and I'm really excited for our guest today. Her name is Gail Hamilton, and I met Gail at a Lions Club function. I believe it was a holiday gathering. And Gail was their guest, and she sang the most incredible, beautiful song and shared her story. And I feel like ever since that evening, we've been friends and we have mutual friends. So it's been wonderful seeing that friendship grow. And Gail is a powerful, inspirational, and entertaining national speaker. She's an author, she's a performer, she's a trainer, and an educator. Gail is also totally blind. She has sung in 2 operas. She's assisted in the building of her former Habitat for Humanity home. Gail was crowned Miss Colorado Senior America. And that's when I met Gail shortly after that she got that amazing title. Gail also published her memoir, which has an incredible name, Soaring into Greatness, a blind woman's vision to live her dreams and fly. And Gail has also climbed the historic 75-story Sydney Harbor Bridge. Wow. Gail believes that we all need to have high expectations of ourselves and others. And by doing that, it will change the way we see, which will change the way we live. And I love that, Gail. Thank you so much for being here today. How is it going out in the world?
Well, thank you for having me. How's it going out in the world? That is a good question. It's going fine out here in the world. After the pandemic, yeah.
Or is it after? I mean,
that's true. We're not after that. We're during the pandemic still. That's true. Yeah. Well, it's certainly different because before the pandemic, I was speaking. Right before the pandemic is when I spoke to the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind, and which is awesome. And I talked to teachers and faculty and kids from preschool all the way up to junior high, and parents. And that was so awesome to touch people's lives that way. And then right after that, I went to Australia and did that bridge, which was awesome. Then we came back and got in the pandemic.
Well, so how soon before the pandemic shut down? Because Australia was one of the first countries to shut down.
We came back on February 21st. And then everything was shut down on March 12th. So it was pretty, you just get over jet lag, and then it was bam. While we were having dinner one day in Sydney, there was a boat out, a cruise liner in the harbor, and people go, "What is all that going on? And what's all the lights? And what's all the cameras?" And we didn't know because we're too busy being tourists and climbing bridges and things. And so they came along and said, "Oh yeah, it's people from Norway and they couldn't get off because of the pandemic." And we thought, "Oh, isn't that interesting?" We didn't think it was going to be a big deal, but yeah, it ended up being kind of more than what anybody knew.
Wow. So I have to ask, because I didn't know about the bridge. Was that like a childhood goal of yours, or how did that ever happen?
Well, that happened because when I sold eventually my Habitat house, I got a profit, which was awesome. And I kind of stole it away, and being very cautious because I'm blind and there's that 75% unemployment in the blind community. So I'm not silly about, well, let's just go spend $130,000 today and blow it. So, but there's a great organization. I don't know if you've heard about it, called Travel Eyes, EYES.
No.
Travel Eyes is based in London, and I think they're still closed, but they provide tours all over the world, and they send out emails going, "Do you want to go over here or over there or wherever?" And the blind person pays full price and the sighted person pays half price So, which is really awesome if you want somebody to go with you. And then they have, so those sighted people are your guides, and they match you up with a different guide every day and all that. And so somebody told me about this organization. I went, okay. So I was on their email list, and yeah, my dad went to Australia, and I've always heard about the Sydney Opera House, and being an opera singer and doing a couple operas in my life. That part of me went, wouldn't that be cool? And I've always been fascinated down under not that I would see it, but the water goes the opposite way. And what's it like to be on the other side of the earth? It's just kind of fascinated me. And it feels just like being on this side of the earth, but gravity is still gravity. But it was awesome. And so I thought I always wanted to do that. I just thought that'd be really cool. So it was on my bucket list. And so the bridge came about because they said, well, you can go, but we're all booked up. But if you have a sighted person go with you, which I asked one of my friends to do, then we'll let you on the tour. And I went, cool. So I asked the friend, she said yes. And so she goes, well, all the tours and everything, we're reading through it and where she is. And she goes, well, we can go around the harbor in Sydney and on a boat, and you can look up and see the bridge and the opera house. Or she goes, or you can climb it. And as a blind person, I'm going, well, just tell me about it. It's just not going to do me any good. It's like, oh, just the bridge isn't that special, but to climb it, I mean, how else am I going to see it? So I said, I'm climbing. She goes, well, I don't want to do that. I go, well, I don't care. You don't have to, but I am. So she ended up climbing with me, and we had a blast, and we went to the opera together. So that's how that happened.
Are you climbing stairs or a ladder? Or
it's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of like a ladder. You wear a special suit and from head to toe, and you can't wear, the day we went, we couldn't wear, we only wore underwear underneath it. So, because it gets too hot up there on the bridge, 75 stories high. And so they put us in these suits, and we could keep our tennis shoes on, but that was the only thing of ours and it had hoods on and goggles and everything. We're totally covered up, and earphones and all that. So you probably wouldn't know it was me on the bridge or not. And then they harness you to the bridge with a rope, and then and the sides of the bridges it's about waist high or chest high, so there's no way to fall off this thing, and they belay you all the way up and down the whole thing. And you're going up ladders at times. Sometimes it's stairs. Sometimes you're climbing over things. It's all metal, and sometimes underneath things and climbing, and it's all different things because they built the stairs and everything after they did the bridge, I think. So I don't think that was originally there. And it goes over, I think there's a highway, and the harbor is underneath it, but you stand way up there, and you hear the sound going from way down there, so.
Wow.
So was really cool.
Windy? Was it windy?
Yeah, it was a little more windy than it was down on the ground. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool. I'd do it again. It took me 3 months to train for it because I didn't want to just go from ground zero to 75 stories without ever training.
Right.
So I climbed because it's during the pandemic, so I climbed my apartment stairs. I figured out that if I went from the first floor to the fourth floor, that's 55 steps, and I needed to do over 13 to 14,000 of these steps. So I had to I had to do my steps 25 times to equal the bridge. So, and I ended up doing it in like 50 minutes eventually. So okay, I'm good.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
and Gail, I know like many of us, we wear a number of hats, and you are constantly busy because I don't know if were you in the Lions when I first met you?
Probably. I've been there since 2011 at Lions.
Okay. So yeah, you probably were actually pretty new to Lions when I first met you. But I know you're very involved in your Lions Club, and then you were the president last year or a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I've been president twice, once for 2 years and once for 1 year. And I've done that. I kind of like to change people and how they see blindness and people and what we can do and just shake them up.
You are a huge advocate, and and you are very inspiring. I know, your book has inspired a lot of people. And
which is out on it's on Bard for people who read books on Bard, and it's on Bookshare for those people who do that, as well as Amazon. Yeah. And Audible. Yeah.
Yeah, you're all over the place.
I'm all over. Yeah, and I write blogs every week, and Yeah. I love doing that. I like
Yeah.
writing. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have another book in you, do you think?
I do.
Or
I am. I mean, I wrote one like 4 years ago, and I just changed the title recently. I think it's going to be called Soaring Free: How to Live an Unstoppable, Unforgettable, Unbelievable Life, at
oh,
a workbook. And so I wrote it 4 years ago, and it's like, how do you live your dreams? What do you want? What don't you want? What's your it that's stopping you from having your dream? And then the things we tell ourselves, and the negative messaging that we all do, and then how to switch that around to the positive. And then it has pearls of wisdom in the back, and it has some what do you call it, quotes, and a dream vision thing, like how to
wow.
write a dream statement, and just different things I've thrown together since I wrote my last book, and went, this now needs to go into another book. And then I want to do one on seeing eye dogs, like
Oh,
something like, I don't know, 28 paws of love, or 20 or
oh,
7 tails of love,
yeah,
yeah, something
yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Oh,
something something like that, because I want most of that's in my book, but I want to give just the dog side of that for the dog lovers out there. So,
exactly,
you know,
exactly. Yeah, one of my favorite authors is John Steinbeck, and so um, Travels with Charlie, and I've only had standard poodles as guide
ah,
dogs, and so people
mhm.
said, "Oh, when I had Boo, my big white standard poodle, everybody's like, "Oh, you should write a book called Travels with Boo."
Boo
And
hoo. That's what you.
I know exactly. And then now that I have Beethoven, they're like, "Oh, you should do Travels with Beethoven."
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
And
Absolutely. Why
yeah,
not? Yeah,
or even I've thought about even doing a children's story
I have to.
about,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because they're, yeah, it's so you're so inspirational, and you get requests all the time to do presentations and talks, and I know you still are doing those virtually now.
Hmm.
How did you get into that? Like, how did you find that
Hmm.
spark of, it just seems like you always find joy in whatever you do.
That is true. Because if you don't find joy in it, why do the it? And so, yeah, I've always music. I I think the speaking came from performing, and ever since I sang on stage the first time in high school, I was like, oh, I like this, and it's like, oh, and it's something I can do as a blind chick. I don't
Yeah,
need anybody else. I just open my mouth, and there it is. The same way with speaking and writing. It's me. You may not like what I say, but you can't really fault me because it's me.
that is true.
Here I am. And so I think speaking came from, I was doing school sing-alongs and that kind of thing. And I think it just sort of gradually evolved. And the book came from, I've done lots of years of therapy and stuff, but it basically came from, I wanted to tell my story. I wanted people to know that you can overcome whatever that it is in your life, and you can get to the other side of that it. And you can, because I've been totally depressed, I've been suicidal, I've had abuse, I've had all kinds of stuff that's
Yeah,
too hard and too not fair for one human being to have. And
yeah.
yet you can let that be your weight or your wings. And
Mm.
I choose it to be my wings. So I want to give, no matter what I'm doing, blogging or singing, and now I'm getting into financial education and helping people with to overcome debt and their financial struggles. No matter what it is, I want to inspire people that you can have whatever it is you want, that it's all possible. No matter what that it is, there's no barriers except what's between those 6 inches between your ears. And that's a big barrier
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that's one of the reasons I just was very drawn to you, which a lot of people are. I mean, every time I'm in a crowd or at a function, you're the magnet that draws us all to
Oh, well, thank
you.
you. Oh, thank you.
And it's true. So you mentioned what you're doing now, this new thing with helping people
With finances. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
be more in charge of them versus the finances in charge of you, which I think all of us need, regardless if you're blind or visually impaired or not. I think
Absolutely.
Americans
Yeah.
in general, the way
So
we look
much
at
debt out
money,
there. And
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And and we weren't taught about it when we were in school, and I wasn't. I remember getting my first credit card in college. You go, woohoo, and then all of a sudden, then you're 10,000 in debt. It's like, oh,
what happened?
yeah, and oh, look, there's interest. Oh, look, they're getting like 2,000 a year on just the interest until you get wised up. And my student loan, I had a $20,000 student loan that blossomed to over 45,000. And the only way I got rid of it was to sell my house that I had. So, it's insane. So if we could help educate people that, with budgeting or with whatever their incomes are, their 401ks and all that, whatever in retirement and long-term insurance, whatever it is, and if we can empower people to live the life that they want, and if money's the thing that's stopping them, then why not? And money's stopped. I think part of my passion on this is because money has stopped me all my life with that 75% unemployment. I've done all these wonderful things, but I've also been this person that has been kept down by money and jobs, and I haven't had a secure job my whole life. So it's like, okay, let's educate people and help people to live their dreams and whatever that. And if it's only that they have a great retirement, yay, let's help them do that.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
And so how did you get involved with that?
A friend of mine who was a lion, he said, hey, I'm working for this great company. Why don't you come and check it out? And I hadn't had any podcasts for a while because I was doing I've done like 50 podcasts over the pandemic. And so I'm like, well, my schedule's a little free. Why not? And I just kept doing it. And so I go, oh, look, now I'm licensed in life insurance. Oh, look, now I'm licensed in health insurance. Oh, look, now I'm licensed in long-term care. Like, I keep going, this is my Alzheimer's prevention program. It's like, well, I don't know why I'm supposed to be walking down this path, but if I'm supposed to help other people, then it's my pleasure.
Awesome.
And maybe I'll sing a song or give a speech along the way. Who knows?
Absolutely. And so one of the things that's really exciting with that is that not only are you going through the courses and obviously passing the exams, but you are also giving huge insight into how to make it accessible for other people.
Right. Because their books, one of the books that just came out, How Money Works, I think the second line is Stop Being a Sucker. I think there's a picture on it, has a sucker on it, but it just came out in the last year. It's almost like sold 1 million copies by now, but it's it wasn't accessible. So I've put it into the Library for the Blind, and that will be out probably sometime this spring. And then I'm revamping the PDF version, so that way that would maybe put that on Bookshare. So I'm all about accessibility because if sighted people don't know about money, I'm certainly sure blind people don't know that, we all can be educated. There's something in that book that can help somebody.
That's right. That's right. But even the whole your route into getting certified in the, like you said, life insurance, health insurance.
Right. Yeah. I was the first blind person to do that,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's always going to be the first. But even doing that, you really had to advocate for accessibility and
and taking a test for double time and from what everybody else did. But even all the materials were doing videos, but the videos weren't accessible, so I was like, fine. And then we got the PDFs of all the things, and I put them into Word, and I turned around and made it more accessible for me. I separated everything because it's all outlined, an A, B, C, D, A, B, F, G. Yeah. It all sounded alike. Like, how do you know what goes under what and what's important? And so I revamped it all just because that's what I do.
That's what you do, Gail.
Well, you have to make it accessible. It's like, so which is great because now other people have that. So yeah.
Wow. So what's your end goal with this? Like,
my end goal, well, to help myself financially, which would be awesome. I would, and especially since I'm living in affordable housing and I know that the profits from my house aren't going to last too much longer. So I would like to help myself financially, but more than that, if I can help other people, I mean, wouldn't that be cool? To really touch somebody's life. I mean, I know I touch people's life with my book and my story, and it is inspirational. And, and I love I love being the light and helping people live their dreams. I love doing that and helping people find passion. And yet I mean, how cool would it be in a weird, I mean, I never thought I'd be doing this. 6 months ago, I would have said you were out of your mind. But I figure if I could just make one person's life, change it and make it better, not really change it, but they change it, but just make it better so that they don't have to struggle.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a little like a pebble in that pond? Wouldn't that be awesome to say, I did that. I touched somebody's life and made it easier financially for them. I mean, that's because singing a song and writing a blog, it's good. And maybe it'll stay with you forever. I mean, I would like, I'm just so great that I can do that. But changing your financial life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big thing to do for somebody.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, when I lost my job I thought it was going to be the job that I was going to have until I retired, but with COVID and everything last year and I lost it, I freaked out because of that, just that dark cloud of 75 to 80% unemployment rate with people who are blind. And then you're competing against the whole world. I mean, tons of us, everybody's losing their job.
Right.
And luckily, my husband and I, we are very conscious of savings and, we don't live beyond our means. And so we were fortunate in the sense that we were okay, but man, as when I knew unemployment was going to run out in the beginning of January, there was a lot of sleepless nights for me.
And I've been on the gig worker unemployment and I'm still living off of that basically. But I know that's going to end. And then I know the profits from my house will end. So I'm hoping personally to help some people along that so I don't have to struggle, so it is concerning a little bit.
Yeah. I wish that you could bottle the joy that you bring and that
I like that. We can sell it. Yeah. Great. I like this. Yeah. $25. Here's your bottle. I'm going to do that. I'm going to start marketing it. Bottles of joy. What do you mean I opened it up and I didn't feel joy? Well, I can't open it. It has joy.
Yeah. You got to use it. You got to use it.
That's right. You got to use it. That's right. You got to use it.
Or lose it.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I like that.
Well, Gail, so share the name of your book again and where we can find it, and then also how people can reach out to you if they are interested in hiring a speaker or they want to talk to you more about the financial business you're in now.
Sure. So I'm all about soaring. You can't just fly into your greatness. You have to soar into your greatness. So Soaring into Greatness is my book, and that's available on Amazon, Bookshare, Bard. Is that it? Yeah. And then the email is easy because that's Gail at soaringintogreatness.com. And the website still is what? soaringintogreatness.com. So Soaring into Greatness will get you anywhere you want to go with the book.
Wonderful. And we will put that in the notes of the podcast. So if you miss it, just look for the notes. And then if that doesn't work, if that's not accessible, you can always reach out to the Audio Information Network of Colorado office, and one of us can connect you with Gail that way as well. So what's next? I know this new career, but
new career. I'm hoping to get St. Dog 7 in January, maybe. We cross our fingers. I'm hoping to.
Are you between dogs?
Oh yeah, I've been between dogs for at least 3 years. But I had one in March, Miss Maggie. Oh my God, she's so cute. But I hurt my knee while I was out there in New Jersey, so I had to come home without her, which sucked because she was a great dog. Yeah, so. Hopefully in January I'll get dog 7. So that's that and the little financial education. And yeah, people want me to speak or write a blog or go on TV or whatever how I could be of service. It's my pleasure to be.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Gail. We really appreciate it. I think one of the reasons that I just adore you is there are people out there, I'm friends with Eric Weimeyer and that, blind people that can summit Mount Everest. But most, if not majority of us are not going to climb Mount Everest.
No, probably not.
But so it's neat for me to be around extraordinary, ordinary people, if that makes sense. You know, and because it's more real and it's you know,
yeah, we're just,
like
for me, I'm just out here putting one foot in front of the other, and I just do what brings me joy.
Yeah.
That's just, and hopefully to inspire others. I've always been about that. It's like life has to be more than groveling on the earth and scrapping around for food. And, you know, we're meant to be greater than who we are. And, you know,
and especially, you know, like you touched on it, but when you go through, you know, some pretty hard times, and I know you have, and but to come out on the other side of that with that light and with that joy is remarkable, because so many people don't when they go
get
through
stuck.
they get stuck in that darkness and lash out often to people who don't deserve it. And so it's really awesome to meet people who
so if you want counseling or coaching, I can help there too.
Awesome. I know. I said you're a woman of many hats. You know, you really do. And you don't just hold people's hands. You help provide the tools so that they can do it on their own, which is really incredible.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, because coddling's not going to get them anywhere.
No,
you know?
no.
You have to have empathy, but I once read in a psych book that you have to first you nurture somebody, and then you guide them, and then you empower them. And I always thought that was really nice. So you have to nurture at the beginning and go through all the stuff, and then you kind of got like a parent. You know, they said like from 1 to 7 is your nurture years, and 7 to 14 is your guiding years. You're teaching them how to be an adult and all that. And then from 14 on, you empower them towards the great person that they're going to be. And I kind of like that. It's like that's what we do with people.
I have to write that down. Nurture,
guide, empower. Yeah.
And we all need that. You know, we're going into the Thanksgiving holiday, and you know, the pandemic is still raging, and you know, they're putting more and more restrictions back on us, which regardless if you agree or disagree, it's happening. And so there are going to be a lot of people out there that are still going to be away from family and friends, or a smaller group than they probably want. And I think this, you know, during this time of Thanksgiving, that we do need to think of other ways of how we can, you know, kind of fill our cups, and alternate ways too. So I think, you know.
Yeah, I have this whole thing. I call it the 7 senses, and it's like you have to see your vision, listen to your inner voice, speak your truth, follow your heart, reach out and serve others, walk boldly forward, and then be tuned into your intuition. And I came up with that a long time, but you know, if you do those things, and the other ones I say are, you have to be in alignment, be authentic, have a positive attitude, and take action. You know, so it's, you know, you have to be who you are, and learn to be in peace with yourself, and then you can be at peace with others. You know.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I love that, be authentic, because, you know, and a lot of times in today's society, you know, people want to look like other people and have a certain kind of hair, a certain type of skin, a certain type of this, dress a certain way.
Right.
But at the core of us, we are all different. There's nothing we can change about that. There's no two, even, you know, identical twins aren't identical.
Right.
And we should celebrate our differences. And
absolutely. And then you all say, and then it's okay to be vulnerable in that authenticity. You know, and that's the only way to heal, is to be willing to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And if we keep on with the masks and the facades and being hard and being angry and disgruntled, it's going to do nothing but cause pain and suffering in our world. But if we can let down that and tap down into our hearts and be who we are, because we are just really love and joy at the end of the day, and peace, then how's that? That's going to serve the world so much better.
Yes. Oh, I agree. Like I said, you need to bottle it and sell it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have a jar of peace, and then we're gonna have the love jar and the joy jar. Yeah.
I love the joy
Yeah.
jar.
The joy jar. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Or you can
think
buy them all
we're
in
onto
one.
something.
Yeah. Yeah. You buy them all in one too. You could have the try package, or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Hmm,
Open at your own risk. Whoa.
exactly. Well, Gail, thank you so much for joining me today. And again, everybody out there, reach out to Gail. Her contact info will be in the notes. And if not, just reach out to Audio Information Network of Colorado and we can connect you. And again, everybody out there, thank you for dropping in and spending some time with us. And like I've said before, if you would like to be on the podcast or if you know somebody, reach out to us and we'll get connected and let you share your story on Aftersight. So everybody be well and be good to somebody today. And again, thank you, Gail.
Thank you so much, Pen.
Thank you.